Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 14 of EDU6200. For those of you off for the week, hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving week, and those who had their last day of work today, hope you're going to have a great rest of the week off. So we're right here, week 14, getting very close to the end of this session. My daughter is coming and seeing me do a video for the first time and smiling at me. You want to come say hi to my class? No, she's being shy. This is my real daughter, not my cat's. So maybe another cat will show up today. You guys have met Oliver and Ariel, and maybe Merida will come by and say hello. She's not being brave around you guys, but we did name her for the movie Brave. So here we are in week 14, getting close to the end. And the first thing I want to tell you all is I've already decided to extend the deadline for the WCG number 8 group survey results. So I'm going to give you an extra week on that one. It was going to be due a week from yesterday. That's the 27th. I'm going to make it due that first Monday in December. So we'll go ahead and take that week extra. I'm going to go ahead and update that in our course so you've got it in there and ready to go. You're stalking me, Haley. My daughter's stalking me, guys. Sorry. All right, on to the important stuff. Week 14. Week 14 starts today. You're going to be reading through Chapter 12. I'm going to give you some info on that in just a moment. You're going to work on the Week 14 discussion. I saw that the two of you already posted your information in there. It is ready to go. I think it was Angela who posted it, so you've got it in there to look at. And then, of course, WCG number 8, the group survey assignment. So that was going to be due on the 27th. That's a week from yesterday. I'm going to make it due on 12/4 instead to give you an extra week after the break to get that stuff in and done. I cannot go any further, though, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the course, I got to have time to grade them, and I got to have your grades in by 12/9. So hence, that's going to be the final deadline there on 12/4. If you don't have it in, it's going to be a real issue. So if you turn it in early, great. If you don't get it in by then, we're going to have a conversation, so please contact me. Now, real quick on WCG number 8, before we go over the content for Chapter 12, that's going to be found on page 9 of your syllabus. And this is the actual survey. So I want to remind you what you're turning into me. I'm going to get three things from you on this assignment. Number 1 is going to be the survey itself or the survey questions embedded in your analysis. Number 2 is going to be the analysis itself. And then number 3 is going to be your one-page summary reflection. And so I'll go over the rubric again with you to make sure you've got that information. So if you pull out that rubric, I have put it on there for you. And by the way, one of your classmates who I talked with last week was giving me some information about how to find the rubrics in Chalk and Wire. I'm going to post that as well with this video. So there are a few areas of the survey that you're looking at. Number 1, your survey has 10 or more questions. That's the first section. Number 2, using technology to summarize it in some way. So that could be graphs, it could be charts, any way you do it. So if you're using a Likert type scale, you're going to have a graph or chart with it. If you're using questions with responses, you're going to have a list of sample responses. You've got to put it in a way that it comes out readable, enticing, wanting me to look at it. Again, the same APA piece. Then you have a 3-page summary and a 1-page reflection. Remember, the 3-page summary is where you're actually summarizing the results of the survey, what you learned from the survey, not what you would do, what you learned. So, for example, if you asked a question and 80% agreed with it, you'd put that in your survey, the 80% agreed with it. Then you're doing a 1-page reflection, which is where you're going to actually reflect on all those elements above. So reflect on the survey. Did you gather information you were looking for? Were you surprised by the information? And what are you going to do because of the information? So those are all important elements there, and if you want me to look at it ahead of time, I'll be happy to do so. All right, on to important things. Chapter 12 talks about termination of employment. And this is, if you've been around teaching for a while, this is something that has changed very drastically in the past 10 years. Sorry, guys. The cough is still there, but it's getting better. So the first thing to understand is that if you were hired prior to 2011 versus hired after 2011, there's a very different thing for you. You may be tenured as a teacher. So, for example, I was hired as an administrator back in 2007, and so I had 3 years of work in beforehand, and I have tenure in the state of Florida. And what that basically means is tenure is it's very hard to get rid of somebody's job unless they do something that's an ethical violation. So, for example, unless you are really unethical or have poor performance for 2 straight years, you got to have 2 straight years of poor performance, they can't get rid of you for just they don't like you, they don't want to bring you back. With the way teacher laws are written in Florida now, it is very possible to remove a teacher, especially after the first year, with no cause. You can just say you're not asked back. And so that's the way Florida changes laws back in 2010, 2011, and you got to look at that piece. However, procedural requirements are still required. It must fit in. They must notify you. And so a big important thing that some districts don't always do is notify them. I know in Hillsborough we're very keen on that in the fall we have to notify teachers that they're in danger of being non-renominated in the spring, is what they call it, non-renomination in Hillsborough County, non-renewal, same thing. And then in March they get a letter warning them again that they're going to be non-renominated before a final decision is made. So those are important things to be aware of. That can happen now in Florida. That has changed a whole lot. They used to have a lot more documentation than they do now. And so that's something to be very, very keen on. When you look at the Florida school laws, you'll see pieces in there about that. Of course, dismissal for cause, those are a lot of things in there. Remember I mentioned those ethical violations. There they are: incompetency, immorality, insubordination, anything like that, moral turpitude, gross negligence. Those things can cause you to have immediate termination. But again, remember this. School districts, those you don't work for school districts, is a little bit different for you. But school districts do not fire teachers. What happens is the board non-renominates you or terminates your contract. So even though you may lose your job as of, say, December 8th, you'd have to actually wait until the board meeting to typically lose your job. And then again, information down there at the bottom of this page talks about remedies for rights. Again, liability. One of the things I recommend to teachers, if you have a local union you can join, like we call it the Classroom Teacher Association, definitely good to be a part of that they can help support you in that claim. I've seen many a teacher who've been accused of things that came out false, and the union was there to back them up, provide them legal counsel, and those are things you're paying for in your dues that you wouldn't have to pay for otherwise. Note that you cannot be individually sued. They can only sue, like a parent can't sue you, they can sue the school district. They cannot sue you. The district can go to terminate you, and that's where you can bring in legal counsel, either privately or from a union to support you. So that's some really important stuff there in Chapter 12. Just some good reading, and I looked at the PowerPoint that this group did this week, and it does look very good. So get that information in there, start doing your discussion posts, and get it in there as soon as you can this week. Try and have your initial post done by Friday. Saturday the latest, to allow folks to have time to go ahead and respond. All right, as we wind down the course, this is an important time to think about because we only have a couple of weeks left, ladies and gentlemen. I know the semester's gone by very quickly, and I think I said to you guys that it would, and here we are already at the end. So coming up next week, you've got the last discussion forum, Chapter 13, the other Florida school law chapters, 1010 to 1012. And as a reminder, the group that's working on that, do not go deep dive into this. Look back at what our group did back in week 9. It took a very shallow approach to it. What are the laws about? What do they cover? And how does it affect you as an administrator? And that's really what we want to know. We want to know how it affects you as an administrator. That's the thing you want to be thinking about right now, is how that affects you. That's going to be due on 12/4. And in addition, everything for the group survey will be due on 12/4 as well. So I'm giving you an extra week on that to 12/4. 11/27 is the due date for the week 14 discussion. And again, the final exam, chapters 7 through 13 in the textbook. I'm not testing you on the school laws. That is a reference piece to see how to apply the things you're learning out of the textbook. So again, there's no test on the school laws. I'm not going to drill you on that piece. That's why I've said a surface look at the laws, that you are familiar with them and can look back later when you need to find things you need to do. I know for me, I told you guys my personal is 10-12-98, which is all the Florida professional development laws and pieces. So I go and look at that on a regular basis. That's the piece I refer to on a regular basis for me. The final exam, again, it's wrong on the syllabus. It's going to open on 12/2. It's going to close on 12/8. So 12/2 to 12/8 is the time for the final exam. You must get it done. Again, there's going to be a 4-hour time limit. It's a mixture of multiple choice, true, false, and free response questions. That is it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have a very, very happy Thanksgiving, a very restful Thanksgiving, and I've really enjoyed working with you all. If I forget to say it again in a week or two when we get towards the end of the course, it's really been a pleasure getting to know all of you, and hope you like the class, because you're going to have me again come summer. In summer, second half of summer, we do EDU6550, which is all about data and assessment. Another great course where we're going to take a topic that some people are afraid of or don't like, and we're going to make it real for you, just like we did with school law. I'm telling you, myself personally, did not like school law when I first took it, and then I took it, and wow, the professor I had really made it real for us. And so I hope you found that and found real ways to use this in your everyday teaching and eventual administration. All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving, and enjoy your week.